YouTube, what's going on? It's just me, Ty, here bringing you another video. Do you want the best settings in Call of Duty Black Ops 6? Well, I've got you covered. These are my settings. This is what helps me with the max frames per second and makes my game look good. So let's get right into it. So I play on full screen exclusive. I got the Samsung Odyssey. My graphics card is a 4070 Ti Super. I play at 1440p. My max frames is 240 as of right now. What I do on low latency, a lot of times it depends on your PC. I play on plus boost. I feel like it gives me just a couple more frames per second. If you have a lower end PC, you might want to go on. But one of the two, just play around, see what your PC can handle. Eco mode, I've got custom. Then on top of that, off, custom frame rate, unlimited. Now this is depending on your PC as well. I've got the resolution on Optive. I've seen other people do native. Just play with it. One of the two, you really don't want to go max, but one of the two will be just fine. Just depending on your PC. Rendering off. 10. I don't really mess with this. Then on top of that, when you have HDR, make sure that you turn that off. Big. Turn that off. Then dynamic resolution off. This is very, very important. Make sure that you have your upscale to Fidel Cast. I've seen other people see other games and other things when the game gets updated or when you download it, it doesn't have that on there. It picks something else. So make sure that you actually do select Fidel Cast. That's very, very big. VRAM scale to 80. A lot of this stuff is going to be low or off. I like my game to have the max frames per second. I want all the frames for my game. Now, some people might want it just a little bit brighter, a little bit this, a little bit that. But me personally, I want my game to run at the max frames. I'm getting probably around 200 to 215 max frames per second. Shout out to Paradox Customs for building my PC. Did an amazing job. I'm not sponsored by them, but they did an amazing job. So I feel like I do need to give them a shout out. So here is the graphic settings. Texture, very low. Low. Depth of field, off. Detail quality, low. Pixel resolution, very low. Bullet impact, where you see the bullet spray, on. Effects, off. Shaders, low. On-demand texture, I've got it minimum. I make sure it's not optimized. Make sure that is at minimum. On top of that, streaming quality low, shadow quality very low, shadows off, medium off. A lot of this is, this is just really, really repetitive. Honestly, I'll be all the way honest with you. Quality's low, and then the rest of this is pretty much off and low. I don't need to see what color the rain is. I don't need to see the rain reflecting off of a car. I just don't need it. I want my max frames. With the view, I play at 120. It depends on how you want to play. I've seen some people go 112. I would not go anything lower than 110, just because if you go lower than 110, the recoil and it just gets all fuzzy. But 110 to 120, just find your sweet spot. Field of view, effective. Wide for weapon field of view. I got wide. Some people might like narrow or default. I don't. I like to see. I like wide. I do know some of the CDL players, they do have default. Third person view, 70. Vehicle default. Motion, world motion blur. Make sure you turn that off. You don't want to get dizzy. You don't want to fall out your chair. You just make sure that's off. Weapon motion blur off. And then the rest of this, 50-50, third person ADS. Flashbang off. Some people do like the other screen. I don't. Just whatever you want on that one. So let's go to the controller. So I play on a SCUF controller. I play on, I don't know why it's got a mouse, I guess. I play on a SCUF controller. Shout out to SCUF as well. Button layout, default. I play on a 6.6. some people will tell you play on a 2020, be this cracked out YY demon. Find what works for you. I know all the pros pretty much play on between I've seen players that play on a 5.5 all the way to a 9.9. See what works for you. You've got some that go 14, 15, whatever, but find what works for you. You can look at 9 other videos. They're all going to say something totally different. 6.7, 6.8, 5.12. Like just in my opinion, find what works for you and use that. Let's see, bumper ping, I got turned off, swap off, controller vibrate off. Now let's talk about the dead zone. Let's talk about the dead zone right here. So in this game, I have my left stick at 65 because the quicker I'm able to go in this game is the better. And you want to make sure that it's like a little stick when you go with Black Ops 6. So you want to make sure that in that controller, instead of having to push that stick all the way to the max, you can just push it just a little bit and it will act like it's the max. So make sure, fiddle with it, see what works for you. I've got mine at 65 on the left stick, and then at the right stick, 99. I have just a little bit of stick drift with a 4. Just see what works for you. Aiming. Let's go to the advanced aiming stage. I got that standard. Now, ADS sensitivity instant, third person instant. Now, this is very, very important. A lot of people will have been using standard for your curve, but in this game right now, it's dynamic. That is perfect. That is what everyone is using. It feels like it has more stick to it. I've seen some people say that linear has some too. In my opinion, out of all of those 3, the best that worked for me was dynamic. Try it out, see what you think. There's no really wrong answer, but in my opinion, dynamic is the best. All right, on to movement. So I've got my sprint assist to tactical sprint assist. I also make sure, this is a big thing, make sure that you hit more and show more to make sure that your sprint assist delay is to 0. A lot of times that when the game came out, it had it automatically at 400 and you had to go in there and fix it. So make sure that you go in there and fix it and put it to 0. I've got sprint assist on sideways and backwards. I got that on. Man assist off, crouch assist off, corner slice off. This is a big thing in my opinion. Slide dive behavior. I've got it on hybrid. Hybrid is hard to learn at first, but once you get it, it's perfect because you just tap only to slide and then you have to hold to dive, especially in this game with diving and sliding and the omni movement. It's so good, but it takes a little bit to get used to. So make sure that you try it out. Don't give up if you don't get it at first. Keep trying, and I promise you it will help you in the long run. Automatic manual off, sprint restore on, slide manual sprints on, parachute. Make sure that you got this turned on because you want to get to that in Warzone. You want to get to the ground quick. Turn that off. Manual cancels reload is off. Then we'll go into here. I've got auto off, ground mount on, tactical. I got it double because I have it where I can ping some stuff as well. So I've got a lot of different stuff off, and smashing through doors I have on. Combat. There's a lot of stuff. Let's see. I've got it's pretty much hold down, blah blah blah. Just regular stuff. Honestly, this is a setting that I love. A finishing move. I prefer the meat shield. I have too much fun with that. You've seen most of my content. I love doing stuff like that, having fun with that. Right here, let's see, I've got akimbo, I've got paired because I would rather click one button and have them both shoot than have to hit both. That's just me. That's how I am. Sprint cancels reload. You make sure that you want to turn that off. I don't know why that's got on because you don't want to sprint and then it cancels you reload. You want to keep running and reload at the same time. Call of Duty is weird. It turns some settings on, turns some settings off. It's weird. All right, let's see. Interact, I got prioritize because when you're running, you don't want to, miss anything. I want to open stuff. I want to collect stuff real quick and keep it moving. Okay, here's the audio. So I use Artist War sound. I do. No denying that I do use it. I think I've always used it. Game Master volume at 100, dialogue volume at 18 because I really, I can hear. I don't need the person to scream on my ear. Effects volume 100. That's your footsteps and everything. I got that at 100. Audio mix. This is a big thing. I've heard people say Treyarch, headphone boost blast. My opinion, Sucker Punch or Treyarch mix is the best two in my opinion. For people that don't have the tune, I would definitely say Sucker Punch, and make sure that you go into your settings and turn in your sound settings in your PC and turn loudness EQ on, and that will help you out so much. Audio off, mute. Mute game when minimize off, license music off. Just the normals. Voice chat, I've got it 100. Push to talk and all of that. Let's see. HUD, the game HUD I've got on a square. What I also do is the HUD bound. I bring this all the way in. So right here, that would probably be where my map is. I don't want to look all the way up here. I don't want to turn my head. I just want to take a quick glance up, and this is kind of where my map would be. So you might want to try it out. Bring it in a little bit close. And then on top of that, I got a square. But this is the big one too. Crosshairs. This is a big one. You want this with the center dot. I have just a center dot. What you want to do, you want to push it to the largest. Trust me on this. Then on top of that, you can change your crosshairs colors. Now, I'm gonna shout out to Repulse. He's the one that put me onto this. I have it as a neon yellow. He was talking about in his video, the two colors that attract the eye the quickest is neon green and neon yellow. So make sure that you change that to either one of the two. Test it out, see which works for you. But this is what works for me. A neon yellow is bright. I can see it real quick, and I can react really, really well. That is pretty much all of the settings that you really want to do. Guys, that's my settings video. Hopefully that helps you out where you can get max frames per second. If you would, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, share it with a friend that needs help with their PC settings. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.